Okay.
And then go to YouTube Studio, refresh it. Live. Yeah, the three dot. Click on the three dot. Yeah, get shareable link. Yeah, and there you go.
I'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
if shall I put in? No, I don't want to put in Lynn's thing. Not yet, at least. Oh man, fuck's sake! I click the thing. There we go. So I'm gonna do a test. Right. Does it show them live? Let's get rid of.
Yeah. I'm gonna very much so you can have a look.
Stop streaming on Discord. Then should.
There you go.
We're in. Live. Let's get rid of.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm streaming currently. Let's go. Stop streaming on Discord.
Oh, that sounds pretty good actually. Oh well.
Yes.
I mean, a little bit quiet actually. I mean, loud.
Bit loud.
I didn't realize that.
Might work. Yeah. This
do you want me to turn it down?
Okay. It's up to you.
Is that okay?
It's up to you. For me,
that sounds pretty good actually.
I'm getting live.
Oh well. I mean, a little bit quiet actually. I mean, loud.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Which is. Yeah, I think so.
Do you want me to turn it down? Okay.
It's up to
Is
you.
that okay?
Oh god, there's a fucking vibrator. It's up to you. Hang on. Stop watching. There we go. There we go. That is a lot better. Now, single player. We're gonna play the base. Well, we're gonna play. See, this one. I'm not gonna stream the tutorial of how to play the game. I'm only gonna play the dungeon tutorial.
Troubled by the somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the
Hope.
ultimate evil awoke. It did not know what had happened,
Which
nor
is
why it
everything.
had awoken, but it longed for revenge.
Also, I should say, hello everybody! Well, hello everybody of the internet. Welcome to the first stream on YouTube. That's my phrase every time I start a stream, by the way. It's just hello everybody on the internet. This is first stream on YouTube. It is being fucky and Felid. And my cat's licking his nads. Okay, Felidin, enjoy yourself. Right.
He's pulling his cock out!
He's getting his cock out! It's a fucking good thing he doesn't have any balls, don't you, boy? You little shit. Yeah.
Wait,
today...
doesn't have... Oh.
Yeah, he's been neutered for a reason. We have a lot of female cats where I live.
Can you eat pussy like that?
Yeah.
Right. Today...
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll let you go on.
I know, it's fine. I like to check the piss while I can. But basically, we're going to redo the tutorial for A New Hope all the way up to the last Naga stream. I might do the first 2 missions in this stream and do the Naga stream along with the Unicorn mission. Which... horse salami. Nah, but yeah, this is what we begin with.
The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell.
In my
The
opinion,
absolute evil
Dungeons
disappeared from
is
sight
way
with a
better than
threatening
Dungeon
gesture,
Keeper.
and a faint whispered, "I'll be there," could be heard, coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended.
I hate bards in this game.
The overworld rejoiced,
Oh,
and an era of peace
I hate
began
them
to
so
be alive.
much.
The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, Secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last
Yeah,
remains
Dominic,
of the
you're gonna
absolute
love the
evil
fucking
were
references
resting,
in this game. It's
never
really
again
funny.
to see the light of the overworld.
Remember?
Until today, that is.
Yeah, so Dungeons
Somewhere
2
deep
is
under the earth,
has a lot of piss
the
take
ultimate
references.
evil
And if you know your
awoke.
fantasy
Right.
games, they're fucking funny. Honestly. Alright, we have to do the tutorial again. Which I'm fine with, but I normally start with the goblin mission first.
Yeah.
This is
And the hand of terror arose,
the hand of
controlled
terror.
by the ultimate evil.
Woo!
Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you!
I love the narrator.
Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required.
So, this game
Still not bright enough.
was the one I wanted to play for the longest time, and when I got it, I enjoyed
An
it
old
full-heartedly.
throne room was revealed by the light. The
Look at
circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the ultimate evil had.
Anyway,
After a few
There's the
flying sessions,
ultimate
the ultimate
evil.
evil was able to control the hand with
the
ease.
Giga Chad himself.
Time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its
It's a
dirty work.
snot.
Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion mad evil hired one snot on the spot. The first little snot appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were important to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new areas. The psionically gifted evil could sense the
Worship
presence
me
of
more,
something important that
peasant!
was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction. As quick as a fart, the little snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig. Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate. As soon as a gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
Gold is well, if you've played Dungeon Keeper, gold is the main resource of this game, of any dungeon game. Mine, you
Once
snots!
most of the gold had been mined, the Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored. The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise.
I
So
love
the
that
most
line.
important thing to
Liquid
build
food.
was a
Well,
brewery.
beer to be
And that
precise.
would require some space to be created. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Quite a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror, James, that. The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
So, at this point of the game, you can only have a certain amount of monsters. Sadly, you have to use magic, and we don't get magic until, like, the Naga Temple.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the Hand of Terror, the room stood ready. excellent, but the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too. The hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snobs started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds.
I just love the fact when you wait long enough, the narrator just loses it.
Orcs were defensive close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. Payday! An eerie gong rang through the hall. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires. For the time being, at least. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in. The creature disappeared into the pit of uselessness with a long, drawn, and gradually diminishing... This particular act brought a smile to the face of the multitude. One louse-infested orc crawled up from the depths and declared allegiance to the ultimate evil. The first step towards the creation of a powerful army had been taken. The profound evil had had enough of dungeon sightseeing and now wanted to move to the surface to try a dish that is best served cold. Revenge. Some Alliance members were bound to be guarding the entrance to the overworld, a fine appetizer for a vengeful evil. Nameless evil creatures came upon a spider's nest during their search for an entrance to the overworld. It would take more than one orc to smoke that out. The abysmal evil used the Hand of Terror to grab several of the creatures that were still completely inexperienced at fighting and threw them onto the spider's nest. The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
The evil has awoken, but its brothers are still asleep.
Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. What a weirdo. No matter. We
Time
better get
for
back
it.
to concentrating on the dungeon.
Not having it happen. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now. Now. Okay.
Monstrosity loomed out of the darkness on 8 legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a long while. Now it was home to a huge spider and her brood. Would Sam and Frodo escape it and continue their journey to Mount Doom, or was this the end of the Ring-Bearer? Hang on a minute, that's not the right text. Where were we? Oh yes, a huge spider, henceforth called the Spider Queen. It would be necessary to eliminate the Spider Queen before the Horde could reach the surface. The Spider Queen sent forth a wave of her children. Of course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger and immediately prepared to defend itself against them. At least, that's what I think.
the Spider Queen.
The vile perversion, once called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the Horde. Later, the sensitive evil would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh. But unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath. Troubled by the lack of control, once the ultimate evil had escaped from the depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this, heavily supported by its little snots. The first target was Paladin Robert, now King of the Alliance. He had withdrawn to the quiet surroundings of his hunting lodge. There, he would be the perfect victim.
We're gonna kill the King of the Alliance. Let's go!
According to scouts, King Robert spent most of his time strolling around his hunting lodge garden reciting poetry. Soon his poetry would turn into mournful ballads. The vengeful evil thirsted to defeat the Alliance's king and mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Whoops, of course, I really mean that he wanted to take all of King Robert's cookies away. Better play it safe, or the age classification folks will be after me. Before that, however, the ultimate evil had to do a bit of work on the dungeon. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to fund even a small army made up of a few orcs.
Alright. I've literally got like all the gold I need back here.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to make it like still up as a normal pattern at the moment.
Got to
Right
work,
now, the
snots.
restricted evil was only able to call upon orcs and little snots. But there had been rumors that some goblins were hiding out in a cave somewhere close by. The first brewery was completed. Soon beer would be flowing like a river, and an Oktoberfest atmosphere would pervade all. Would the ultimate evil put the beer baron out of business? Tough reference.
Two beer cans. Of course I can put two in.
The strategy guidebook, Dungeons for Dummies, says, mountains don't always just consist of rocks and stone, but may also include natural as well as artificial caves and rooms. These usually contain treasures and dangers to make digging around underground more exciting.
There we go. All the beer we would ever need.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That would be perfect for
The
Bethany.
first treasury was completed.
The Bethany
Soon
cat.
Evil's little snots would fill it with gold. You know the golden rule, right? Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
Okay, we have everything. Now we just need a way to get some orcs.
The ultimate evil should never forget to keep a watchful eye on its beer and gold storage. If its creatures can't
No,
help
that's
themselves whenever
really
they eat,
funny. That.
they will get hungry. Fast.
It makes perfect sense actually, because yeah.
The warmongering evil had hired the first orc. As ancient wisdom says, violence is a solution, usually the only one. Another orc entered the service of the military-savvy evil. The horde was growing and prospering. The ultimate evil slowly made itself cozy underground. Although this was a sensible decision, there was the time to attack appeared to be right. On the surface, in the tavern of a small, miserable village, some adventurers gathered. They were acquiring Dutch courage for their visit to the dungeon by downing several beers. The dungeon had to be destroyed.
No.
Oh my.
Sounds like a dog bark there.
Yeah, I had a hit.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
It sounds weird when I do a hit.
Go on, orcs, beat up the villagers!
The heroes didn't know what had hit them, as several orcs bore
whoa.
down from nowhere and annihilated them. This group of heroes had plundered their last dungeon, but there would be more. But that poor bunny!
How did you get up
How
there?
could you? I mean,
Oh, that
the
makes
vile
sense.
evil, in a display of ruthlessness, vented its anger on this sweet little bundle of fur. Tragic.
Just killing the rabbit. Kill the pig! Get him! We're gonna have bacon.
A delicious rumble announced the fact that the village's last house had crashed to the ground. Ha! there would be no more heroes meeting there to seek out the dungeon of the destruction-hungry evil. The hunting lodge of King Robert lay in the north. It was there that the ultimate evil would finally get its long-awaited revenge. However, it looked pretty damn well guarded. Maybe it should first visit the cave to the west, inhabited by a clan of goblins, where the cunning evil could do a little negotiating. The horde came across a stray goblin by the roadside, who apparently constituted the sad remains of one of the hunting lodge's attack units. This miserable being joined the army of the powerful evil with a grateful whimper.
Goblin! We got our first goblin into our service. Oh, our treasury's actually getting full. It's actually useful. How's our beer flow? Oh, we got maximum beer as well.
The goblin leader prostrated himself joyfully before the ultimate evil, and immediately dispatched 2 goblins into its dungeon with a few plans for a new room, a tinkerer's cave. This was built as quickly as possible. The tinkerer's cave was built. It could, however, only be used as a warehouse, as it lacked the workshop that the insidious evil's goblins needed. Quick as a flash, Evil placed a creator mat in the Tinkerer's Cave. A sparkling new creator mat graced the Tinkerer's Cave of the expansion-hungry evil. A goblin would be able to work well in here, producing toolboxes. A few of these boxes would now be needed in order to invent a trap. The moody evil waited patiently.
Cool.
Ah! Oh, gold.
As cowardly as the goblins were, their creativity more than made up for this. They proudly presented the treacherous evil with their plan for a devious trap. With a silent, evil cackle, it quickly buckled down to setting the trap.
Okay, I can just continue. Down.
Job done. The trap was finished and ready to be found by a hero. This is going to be so much fun. Just at that moment, a particularly powerful dwarf warrior appeared in the dungeon. How had he suddenly arrived at this precise time was indeed most odd, but his presence was more than welcome. He was going to be a guinea pig for the trap. Even this strong dwarf warrior didn't stand a chance against the treacherous traps and powerful monsters of the invincible evil. He bit the dust. So much for a game of dwarves. The dungeon's defenses were now clearly much improved, but the hunting lodge still remained well protected and impregnable. There was nothing that the ultimate evil could do. The task was impossible. So the evil withdrew, bent and broken, let feelings of revenge ebb away, and instead took up looking after those cute, teeny-weeny trees. What are they called again? Bonsai, yes, that's it. The end. Pretty unsatisfactory, huh? Of course, that wasn't the end. In reality, the indefatigable evil paid the Goblin Cave another little visit. The Goblin leader would hopefully spit out something useful after a few more slaps.
Human Nightmare Cave.
A few hard slaps were enough to motivate the leader of the goblins to help the ultimate evil. As it transpired, there was an old tunnel which had been previously used as an escape route.
Dominic,
This connected the Goblin Cave with the vaults of the hunting lodge. The
one
Goblin
of
leader
this orc
voluntarily
named
made a Goblin
Thorak
assassin
loves
available
beating
to the
up allies.
hard-hitting evil to help infiltrate the
That's
lodge.
his title.
Oh no.
Loves to beat up his allies.
Mm.
Right, he's gonna retreat back to the dungeon. Oh my god, can you not? No, no. I need you to head back to the dungeon, so I can just upgrade the Tinker's Cave a bit, be a bit more spacious. Oh yeah, I can research a healing room now, let's go. I don't have to rely on liquid courage to, like, get everything done.
So is it basically like this?
Do you know
Just
Dungeon
donking
Keeper?
everybody across. No, I've never played it.
Basically, it's a simulator where you build a dungeon and basically adventurers come in, try to, you know, steal your gold, take your beer and that, but, you know, you basically play as the bad guy.
The charitable evil
Oh.
had researched the hospital. This would enable its units to quickly
Oh.
recover from their injuries.
Is that on
once
Steam
it had
or?
been built there.
Yeah, it's on
The
Steam.
caring
All
evil
4
had
games are
good-naturedly
on
built
Steam.
a hospital for its suffering creatures. It, however,
Oh,
still lacked
on
a
the server?
hospital bed. Little Snots would
It's
then
just
bring
called
any
Dungeons.
units there that had been
I'm
injured
playing
in the
Dungeons
dungeon.
2.
The first hospital bed had been built. Wounded units could now
Yeah,
be
but there
healed
is
in
like
the hospital.
the first
Little
Dungeons
Snots
game,
would
which
also be able to bring
is
defeated
the
creatures
first
here,
Dungeons
so that
game
they
is
could be
really
nursed back
nice,
to
but
health.
it's really hard. It was one of those back in the day games that like you really had to like know what you were doing. So if my monsters get hurt, they can come here and rest, and they can drink all the beer, have all the gold they want, and we have all the traps. Right, let's get to the actual. Now,
The cheerful
if you
evil
want
was
quality of
pleased with this
life,
support.
I suggest
An
you
assassin was a
you
decent
play
melee
a game
fighter,
called
but its actual strength lay in its
play the
ability to
third
make
game or
itself
Dungeons
invisible.
3.
This was, of course, tested out immediately.
They basically got the first game and
Despite
the second game
powerful
and mixed it
invisibility
together.
skill, it was advisable for the ultimate evil to be cautious. Some opponents had such highly trained observation skills that they were actually able to see invisible units. A locked door prevented the assassin from progressing. It would have taken a long time for him to have opened it with sheer brute force using weaponry. Thankfully, he had a suitable skill with which he could deactivate doors, and more importantly, traps.
I'm surprised there's nothing back here. Oh well. Oop, shit. Fucking hate that. There we go.
The on-the-ball evil recognized that the warrior princess there was extremely powerful. The goblin assassin would be best advised to avoid any contact. A Gobobot was being forced to make miserable repairs in the lodge. A brief feeling of what it thought might be sympathy passed through the sensitive evil, but this actually turned out to be a mighty belch. Naturally, it would free the useful Gobobot anyway.
Gonna cook 'em up.
Confused by the assassin's attempt at rescuing it, the Gobobot joined the horde and succeeded in showing its tormentors a real hot time. Its ability to more or less ignore range damage and set fire to large areas would come in very handy.
There goes the goblin. Oh no, he's alive.
Alright.
The hunting lodge was completely destroyed. The vengeful evil gave itself a very self-satisfied pat on the back. The time was right to concentrate on King Robert. He was in his renowned garden reciting his much less renowned love poems. The lyrically challenged evil had no time for poetry and would soon make this tangibly clear to him.
Right, you return back to the dungeon. Along with the Gobobot.
Right. Okay.
There we go.
So,
Payday.
Roses are red, dandelions are yellow. Why don't you write a poem yourself in yellow? Brilliant! But could come across in the wrong way. Try again. Roses are red, and I don't have an odor. Hodor, 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 hodor. A bit too noisy. Roses are red, Ted Stark is dead. Now pray, please fetch me something.
Roses are red, Ted Stark is dead.
Roses are red, dandelions are yellow. Why don't you write a poem yourself in yellow? Brilliant!
The king was accompanied by a pixie who was able to cast powerful healing magic. Any direct attack would be suicidal. Mercifully, the omniscient and helpful narrator was at hand. He pointed out to the impatient evil that the pixie went off from time to time in order to check that all was well, and much more importantly, eat her supper in a little camp to the south.
Roses are red and later they'll brown. Give me your heart, else I'll steal it and your gun.
The pixie buzzed over to eat her meal. The ultimate Eve, the annoying little pixie, had spoken her last healing spell. The crafty-minded evil sculpted a fan from her wings. Now it was time to look for King Robert and ensure his early demise.
Fucking get him! Shank him! You know, could the goblins actually kill him? You know what, for the King of the Alliance, he's just getting the London look. Dominic, you seeing this? Oh, Dominic.
Sorry?
Just watch the stream.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Just through my goblin shanking the King of the Alliance.
Oh, here we go.
It's supposed to be your boss as well. It's just. Gob. Just giving him the London look.
And the ultimate evil had received its well-deserved revenge. But there were still many more heroes out there who
Okay,
deserved
fella,
to
dear.
bite the dust. Their time
Oh, you had a bit of a
would
cake up
come.
there. Cool thing.
Troubled by the lack of control it was able
Alright.
to exert over the renegade demons,
We did the first
ultimate
two
evil traveled
streams.
north into the
Well, the first two
Plague Lands.
levels.
This area was home to the undead, the demigod Krotos, one of the sniveling
Right,
cowards
I'll be
who had banished the
I'll be stopping
ultimate
the stream
evil,
now, so
had
I'll
just
see
marched
you
his
all
alliance
later.
army out of the swamplands
Goodbye.
to fight the snake-like Nagas. The
Stop
ultimate evil
stream.
wanted to teach him the full
Floyd is
futility
gone
of war,